You can 20x your money with these 5 picks that I did just lock in myself, that I did just send over to my KJK VIP members, and then I'm going to be sharing with you guys for free here on the channel tonight for this Monday Night Football game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Got 5 picks, 4 of which you're going to be able to capture on the Prizepicks apps as well. We'll get into that. One of which you can't even get on the Prizepicks app because it's not even listed on the board, and one that I really like. So stay tuned for that. Couple things, guys. Both of these apps, you can take advantage with these picks, but you can also take advantage if you're a new user with some big deposit match bonuses. Betr, they're going to match you all the way up to $200 with my link down below in the description. I'll pin it at the top of the comments as well. You can use the code KJKDFS for all of my signups, though. The easiest thing, you can just go ahead and click on those links down below. It'll hop you right into the app. It'll give you that promo code automatically. It'll give you that $200 deposit match automatically when you sign up today. So you can take advantage, like I said. 4 of these are going to be on Prizepicks, so I'm trying to help you out with the picks for the Prizepicks app as well. But the 5th will not be on Prizepicks, and you can't 20x your payout on Prizepicks like you can on Betr. If you run a 5-pick perfect play on Betr, you can 20x your money, as you can see on the screen. So I'm rocking $250 to win $5,000 on this ticket myself. We'll be getting into the process of exactly all that went into these plays, right? Why I'm clicking the buttons that I'm clicking. That's what these videos are for, to help you know my process, give you a little sneak peek. And then if you're listening along, you're like, this guy knows what he's talking about. I want access to every single one of his plays as soon as he places them. The VIP package will be where it's at, where you get access to my plays, once again, as soon as I place them in my Discord. Head on over to Patreon, purchase the KJK VIP package. When you do so, you're going to receive some instructions on how to hop in that Discord. You can message me on Patreon if you have any difficulties. I'll help you out. And you'll hop right in, where once again, you will get this ticket sent as soon as I lock it in. So for instance, this is the 5-pick we're about to go over. Already sent it in, already locked it in myself. So we will go over it right now. Prizepicks is the other platform we're discussing here. Once again, another nice sign-up bonus, KJKDFS in my link. If you play $5, they're going to give you $50 instantly. So you just got to take my plays, play $5 or more. You're going to get that $50 put into your account that you can then use for some more plays later on, right? Well, let's get into it. If you enjoy the content, guys, would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And it looks like, in real time, Prizepicks is already removing props from the board. What is going on, Prizepicks? Saquon Barkley, over 16.5 fantasy points was the first prop that I wanted to discuss. And I just got a notification on my screen in real time that that prop was removed off the board. So I guess we can go ahead and add the second prop, the Falcons prop, to this slip on the Prizepicks board to kind of let you guys know where I'm at for this Betr Picks ticket as well. And it's going to be the Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions, because apparently Barkley's gone now. I don't know what just happened there. So the Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. Saquon, I don't know what's going on with that, guys. I would think he's going to be reposted. If they're not going to repost Saquon Barkley's fantasy score, if they're going to bump it up, just makes it all the more reason to lock it in over on Betr Picks. I don't know, man. I saw Saquon Barkley's fantasy points was a really popular prop on Prizepicks, as it should be, in my opinion. I've got him projected to go over by a pretty sizable margin here. Multiple projection models. I've got him going out there and getting like 20 fantasy points here tonight. He's only listed at 16.5 fantasy points. So it is a prop that I really like. So let's go ahead and break down exactly why. We'll use Outlier here, one of the top tools that I like to use for my research, guys. Once again, I'm always trying to hook you up with as much value, free value on the channel, resources that I can. So I just partnered up with these guys. And my link below is going to give you 7 days completely free using this tool. So I'll break down exactly how I use it. The first thing is Saquon Barkley is a tremendous, heavy favorite to score a touchdown here tonight, which is really big for the scoring format. Betr Picks, okay, it looks like Saquon got bumped is what happened. So he's up to 17 even on Prizepicks now. Once again, this is going to happen when you get good value on these apps. They're going to change these lines. So rather than taking it on Prizepicks, my recommendation would be to take it over on Betr Picks. He's only at 16.5. If he ends with, 16.6 fantasy points, you're cashing on Betr Picks, but you're not cashing on Prizepicks. So in real time, you're kind of getting an example of like my process and all that goes into it. If I was locking in a ticket right now, I already locked this ticket in, obviously, as is. But if I'm locking in a ticket right now and I see that Saquon went up to 17 even on Prizepicks, and I can get him at 16.5 on Betr, it's the same scoring format besides the fact that you get -2 for fumbles and -2 for interceptions. So on Prizepicks, you only get -1 for both of those categories. So that's my one warning I always give out. Like if Saquon fumbles tonight, you're getting -2 on Betr versus -1 on Prizepicks. So that sucks, but other than that, it's the same game, right? Saquon's a heavy favorite to score a touchdown here tonight. If we go ahead and we pull up the odds and statistics here for Saquon Barkley, you can see a lot of sportsbooks heavily favoring him to score a touchdown. -175 on FanDuel, -185 on DraftKings, all the way up to -199 on Caesars, and all the way up to -207 on Underdog Fantasy, which means they've gone ahead and altered this prop here tonight. They're saying that this is such a good prop, we're going to change the payout to where you can't even do it. The same thing was done on Prizepicks for Saquon's touchdown. He's listed as a Green Goblin, or at least he was. It looks like that was taken down as well. I saw that he was listed as a Green Goblin at one point over on Prizepicks. So, anywho, Saquon Barkley, like his fantasy score, I've got him projected to go out there and get up over 20 plus. The volume was just fantastic for him in week 1 with this new Philadelphia squad. Look at the touches for this guy, man. 24 attempts on the ground for 109 yards, 2 receptions through the air on 2 targets for 23 yards, and he did get in the touchdown. He did get in the end zone with a receiving touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns. So, the workload was just fantastic. There was going to be no A.J. Brown in this game, which I would think just is going to make the Eagles lean on Saquon Barkley even more. They have a 25.75 implied team total, -250 favorites. So a lot of good things pointing towards Saquon being able to put up some fantasy points here tonight. The volume, no A.J. Brown, -250, 25.75 implied team total. That's a lot of points. And then obviously we talked about him being like a massive favorite to get in the end zone, which is going to give you those 6 quick fantasy points. And it is a PPR format, so every single reception that you get, you're going to be racking up those fantasy points as well. That's all factored in. Like I have multiple models that are running all this stuff, giving me projections. Like I said, I've got some models getting him like 21 fantasy points. I've got some models with him sitting right around the 17 mark. And then I've got some getting him up to, like 19. But all of which, have him going over by a pretty sizable mark at the 16.5 mark. And then the fact that he just got bumped up on Prizepicks, makes me like to play even more on Betr as discussed. Like, these single game showdown slates, I've oftentimes been running them on Betr instead of Prizepicks, just simply because this is what's been happening. Like the props with the best value are getting bumped up on Prizepicks, whereas on Betr we can just go ahead and still take them because there's no pushes on Betr. So like Saquon can't be moved to 17 even on Betr because they don't have pushes. That's kind of how they promote their product to try to get more users on the app, right? Which I think it's a phenomenal thing. We're able to capture a lot of value that we can't get on other apps because they don't allow that push line. If he goes up to 17.5, I still do have him projected over. It's just less than ideal. In real time, I'm seeing Prizepicks just bump the play up. That makes me feel even better about the value I'm getting on Betr, right? All these things are factored in. Next two is going to be Bijan Robinson's over rushing and receiving touchdowns. So pretty much we're taking him to be an anytime TD scorer. And the Kyle Pitts 3.5 receptions. Like both of these props, we can go ahead and break these down real quick. Bijan does look like he's been coming down a little bit to be more moderately favored. On DraftKings Sportsbook at one point this morning, he was up to -130. Looks like they've got him at -120 now. Still is favorited though. One of the top favorites in the game to score a touchdown. So let's go ahead and pull him up here. As far as Bijan, we'll break him down on the Outlier app as well. Once again, this tool, using all of this different data that's filing in here. They've got so much that we can be looking at, matchup data, sports book line data, all of that stuff, right? So if we go to his over, this is for the rushing touchdowns. We have the rushing and receiving touchdowns, right? So pretty much anytime touchdown, like I had said. If we just go to the standard touchdown prop, we're going to see all of this different data we got here tonight for him, the over 0.5 touchdowns. There are multiple sports books that are favoring him pretty heavily here. He's actually all the way up to -143 on Caesars, -125 on FanDuel, -120 on Underdog, -120 on DraftKings. So Caesar's another data point we can be looking to. They're saying, like, we really like Bijan to go ahead and get in there tonight. And this new scheme, this new coach for Atlanta very clearly showed that he's going to want to be getting Bijan more touches. This was a topic of discussion all last year during the NFL season, with the old Falcons head coach not really liking to give Bijan touches. It was becoming a really commonly talked about theme. Actually just played against his former coach last week in Pittsburgh. And 18 attempts in week 1. I mean, this is something we were constantly battling with last year, as I said, just like not getting the volume. 68 yards on the ground. He also got targeted 5 times in the air for 5 receptions. I know that was a prop that I liked, his receptions. That actually got bumped up this week, 43 yards. So, I mean, the touches are just there for him a ton. And then, obviously, if we're taking his touchdown prop, we would like for him to be getting the red zone targets and the red zone share. But this isn't exactly data that I'm going to be taking into consideration too heavily, as I talked about with the new coaching. It's, his red zone rush attempts last year, he only got 29.1% of the red zone share compared to Algier getting 43%. The rushing attempts, he got 41% of the share, 35.6. I think that's going to be going way up this year, man. Red zone targets, he was second on the list with 18.5 compared to Drake London's. I mean, I think this is going to be a lot more Bijan. As the season goes on, Outlier is going to continue to feed us this data. It's going to be all updated with 2024. The reason I'm liking him to get more share, I just talked about it. There's a new coaching staff. It was a topic talked about last year. Bijan just was not getting enough touches. Week 1, we got a really good taste in our mouth as to how they're going to be managing his workload. They're giving him a ton more volume. I think that's going to be a trend we continue to see here. So all of this data, pointing towards the over. He was up to 130 on DraftKings earlier, but Caesar's still really liking his over. Another data point that we can really be looking at minus 143 over there. That certainly makes us happy. We want as much market data, as much Vegas data, as much stuff coming in telling us that this is going to be a good play. And just keep in mind, these sportsbooks factor in, like winning sports bettors, losing sports bettors. When someone comes and logs in their app and takes Bijan's over touchdown and they're a profitable sports bettor, that's all factored into these lines. Someone's not winning a lot of money. They don't really care about those people. It's the people that really know what they're talking about that are logging in and placing, that are changing these lines, and then the action coming in. So that's why this data is so valuable. That's why I'm using it, right? That's why we want to be using as much of that data as we possibly can. So anyways, that is going to be that play. We got the Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. If we just pull up this Betr ticket again, kind of review the rest of these plays, we can kind of place some of them on Prizepicks. Once again, the Algier prop that we're going to discuss, we can't get on Prizepicks. So you're going to need the Betr for that one. We'll talk about why I like it. But the next 3 are going to be as follows. Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. Jalen Hurts under on his interceptions prop, which you can get on Prizepicks if you're someone that's playing on Prizepicks that's listening along here. And then the Algier rushing and receivings was a really good prop that I was able to capture that we can't get on Prizepicks. As a matter of fact, I liked his under rushing yards on Prizepicks, and that's been bumped down as well. But you'll see, so he has 0.5 receiving yards and 20.5 rushing yards. Prizepicks has not listed his rushing and receiving prop. They don't even have it listed on the entire board. And I think there's a reason for that, by the way. I mean, I really like it. First of all, his rushing yards prop continues to come down. His receiving yards only at 0.5. You can see I captured this at 28.5 over on Betr the combo prop. Simple math, guys. If you combine his receiving yards and his rushing yards prop here, that's at 21. And let's just put it this way. When you see a prop on the board or that's just not listed randomly for a category for a player on Prizepicks, there's a reason for it, man. I mean, there is a reason they're not going ahead and listing this Algier rushing and receiving yards prop. They don't want people having the ability to click that button. And I love the fact that I can get it over on Betr. especially considering the market continues to trend towards his under on his rushing yards. We've seen that he started at like 23.5, I believe, this morning rushing yards on the Prizepicks board I was looking at, and I liked that under quite a bit because the market was starting to go down towards like even more towards like 17. We're now seeing him bump down to 20.5 on Prizepicks. So that's the prop that I talked about at the top of this video that I really like on Betr that you can't get on Prizepicks. This under 28.5 rushing and receiving yards prop I think is a phenomenal prop to be locking in here tonight. Can't get it on Prizepicks. I was going to recommend the possibility of taking his under rushing yards when it was listed higher. It looks like that's come down more though. So like, and then Saquon got bumped. So these are the reasons I would lock this in on Betr. I'm just being honest. If you want to take it on Prizepicks, sure, I'm giving you this free content, but just know I'm only locking this in on Betr, as you can see. I'm just trying to be transparent about that. And especially now that Saquon got bumped up, like, no thanks. I want the 20x on Betr for the 5 picks is the first thing. You can't 20x your money on Prizepicks with only 5 picks. And then now that we see, the second thing was I love the fact that I can get this Algier prop. And now that we're seeing Saquon bumped up too, it's a definite I would recommend taking this on Betr. But that's just my honest recommendation to you. You can do whatever you want. Or just take the props that haven't been bumped, such as Kyle Pitts and Jalen Hurts, which we'll talk about here now. Let's pull in some data as to why I like all these props, or these two props, I should say. The Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. You're going to see he is going to be favored on the sports books. As always, you know, part of my process is we do certainly want as much market data pointing towards our plays being profitable plays. We want the over 3.5 receptions for Pitts. And if we sort this by implied probability, this is what I like to sort by because this is factoring in all that data that I'm discussing. You're going to see one of his best props in the entire board. We're looking at a 54% implied probability is this over 3.5 receptions. As a matter of fact, I believe it is his best prop because of all of this market data, guys. Minus 146 on the over on Underdog, minus 137 on the over on Caesars, minus 135 on the over on Bet365. Like all of these different sports books have him as a minus 130 favorite or higher to hit his over here tonight. We're getting minus 119 on Prizepicks. So just scanning this drop-down list I have of all of these different books and the odds that they have, right? And then knowing we'd have to risk way more money. We're getting kind of ripped off on these other books compared to Prizepicks. We can get minus 119. Like you can kind of see in real time on this outlier screen at the top, Prizepicks, we're getting the best bang for our buck on this prop by far. Like Underdog Fantasy, if we were to go over there, they have them all the way to minus 146. They've altered the prop. They're saying it's just simply too good. Philadelphia is 31st in the entire NFL in receptions last year. We're still getting this more updated data, but they've been giving up a ton of receptions. And then we look versus the tight end position, they're 21st. So they've been also terrible and giving up a lot of receptions. And specifically to the tight end position, they're giving up 5.3 receptions per game. So that's all data that's factored into the market, right? That's all baked in. Then we can see the data in real time here using these outlier tools. So, you know, that's my process for going into this play. Everything, all the data going into this play, the Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. Good matchup. All this market data telling us that it's a good prop. And then Jalen Hurts to round things out here was our next guy. If we go ahead and type him in here, you can see his interceptions prop. The under. These are the different lines on these sports books. Minus 119. This drop-down menu makes it nice and easy to see, you know, the good deal we're getting on this prop. My Prizepicks, by far, you know, we're getting really good. We're getting a really good deal on this prop. Minus 132, minus 135, minus 135, minus 155. Every single book has him as a minus 130 favorite or better to not throw an interception tonight. Prizepicks, we're getting minus 119. So this is all factored into my process. Interceptions forced, 25th in the entire league were the Atlanta Falcons, only getting 0.5 per game. So, you know, that's going to put them as bottom 7, bottom 5, essentially range in the entire NFL. That's all factored into the market, factored into these odds, which makes us like this play here. And then I already talked about it, but you can't get the Algier prop that I'm locking in on Prizepicks. So sorry, that's why I'm recommending you get this on Betr. So you can get the full 5 pick with me. You can 25x your money. And then if you're someone that's new to Betr as I stated, like take advantage of this. Take advantage of this deposit match offer. Take advantage of the one on Prizepicks too if you're a new user. But I know a lot more people have Prizepicks than Betr, so this is another really good opportunity for you to be making money, taking advantage of value you can't get on other apps. Most notably, this Algier prop. That really sticks out to me. The fact that we're getting the 28.5 rushing and receiving when his rushing yards set at 20.5, his receiving yards only at 0.5, and he's not even listed on the Prizepicks board because it's such a good prop. Yes, please. Saquon just got bumped up, so at the time of, if you're watching this content, there's a good chance, unfortunately, you can no longer get Saquon Barkley at 16.5 on Prizepicks, but you can still get that value over on Betr. All these different things, the 20x that you can get are making me happy to lock it in over there. And lastly, let's analyze this Algier prop using Daily Grind Fantasy, because you're going to see in real time the market here again. If we go over to Betr, this is another tool that I am using to find good value. It is the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. If you haven't watched my CS2 playlist on my channel, check that out, because this tool has been really helpful in making me some money on esports props. Like, if you don't know what that is, I have a CS2 playlist now on my channel. Check that out. Kind of give you a little explanation as to how I use this tool to find some esports plays. It really makes it valuable for me, but all sports, it really does help out. KJK Fast 25% off, link below. Long story short, let's go ahead and pull in the top props for Algier on the board. Let's refresh this. You can see he's listed at 27.5 rushing and receiving on Caesars and BetMGM. He's favored at -127 on the under on Caesars. All of these different books, he's favored on the under, and it's an entire rushing and receiving yard prop less than what we're getting, right? So as expected to go under 27.5, the fact that we're getting 28.5, we're getting that entire extra yard edge in the prop. And then the rushing yards prop, as I talked about for Prizepicks, he's at -143 on the under on BetOnline, which is a really sharp book at 20.5. So you're still getting some really sharp action on the under coming in on his under rushing yards as well. Just a nice little note there for you guys. And he's down to 19.5 on FanDuel, 20.5 on DraftKings. He's still listed at 21.5 on Betr. So if you're a Betr user, once again, you're getting an entire yard more of edge, which we do like over on Prizepicks. He's down to 20.5. So I'd recommend taking the extra edge that you're getting with the 21.5, because if he ends with 21 rushing yards, you're losing on Prizepicks versus cashing on Betr. Hopefully this all makes sense. Hopefully this content was helpful for you guys. Hopefully it provided you with a bunch of free value, gave you a little sneak peek as to all that goes into my process for these props. You can kind of see how the results go for yourself. As always, I'm putting these picks out publicly, so you'll see the results. I'm always backing them with my own money, though. It's very important to me that these plays go well. Not only am I backing them with my own money, I'm sending them over to my VIP members, right? And I'm supplying them to you guys. So it really does me no good to give out plays that don't hit, because nobody's happy in the YouTube comments. Nobody's happy in my VIP. Nobody wants to watch my content. Nobody wants to sign up for my VIP. You get the point. My goal is to help you win money. That's what I want here, and that's the plan with these 5 picks. Quick little review. We got the Saquon over 16.5 fantasy points. Bijan Robinson over 0.5 rushing and receivings. Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. Jalen Hurts under 0.5 interceptions. And the last one, the Algier rushing and receiving yards. It is not available on Prizepicks. The best prop you could get on Prizepicks for him would be that under 20.5 rushing yards, as we discussed. So I'll go ahead and unhighlight this receiving yards. I just wanted to show you in real time the fact that his receiving yards prop is only 0.5 and his rushing yards props only 20.5, and I'm getting the under 28.5 rushing and receiving. Not to mention he's listed at 27.5 across books. So I really like that prop on Betr specifically. Can't get it on Prizepicks, okay? Another kind of, I'm just going to say it. It's another sign that prop probably has some good value when they don't list it on Prizepicks. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. It's kind of the truth, man. which I meant to pull that up, but the rushing receiving, they only have Bijan and Saquon Barkley listed. So take advantage of that on Betr. Thanks for tuning in. That deposit match link will be down below for not only Betr but also Prizepicks. So take advantage of those two different offers. And yeah, wish you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NFL player props, your Betr NFL player props tonight. And we will see you in the next one.